Hey ladies, how are you? I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Danielle Cotis and I am a new mom coach. I'm the founder of the Unfamiliar Mom Academy and I help new moms let go of the guilt, gain more energy, and kick that anxiety and depression to the curb. I specialize in helping moms who are suffering with postpartum depression and anxiety heal naturally. So I'm so excited to be here today. I'm going to share the shortest version of my story possible in the time frame that we have. I'm gonna talk about like what my journey to recovery looked like and what it entailed. I'm going to give you tons. I have like all props and stuff for you guys of what I use to help heal naturally. I still use today and with my clients. And I do suggest, to all the moms out there that watch my videos and stuff, that this is stuff that they can do by themselves. You can go out and find all this stuff. It's really easy to get to. So hopefully you'll get as much out of this as humanly possible. My hope for you today is that you can, begin your healing process as best as you can, as natural as you can, and that just know that you're not alone and that there's so many women out there that are struggling right now. Hey, Nick, I'm excited too. I'm like freaking out. You should see I have like tons of stuff going on my desk right now. So, let's talk about me. So, I had my son about 3 years ago, and to make a long story short, my labor and delivery was terrible. Didn't go as planned. I didn't know how to hold my son in the recovery room. I was anxious. I didn't know how to raise a kid. I never held an infant before. I pretty much failed at breastfeeding in the first 3 days. I had to give formula. He was almost, almost had jaundice, almost had to go on an IV. I was like starving him to death. So I pretty much had to supplement within 3 days. And when the doctor told me that I had to supplement, I collapsed on the doctor's office floor and just broke into tears. And that was kind of like my big aha as a mother, just saying like, I failed already. It's only been 3 days and I fucking failed. I failed as a mother. I failed as doing the most natural thing humanly possible. And really just everything stemmed out of control from that day forward. I found myself crying all the time. I just couldn't get over the fact that like my whole life revolved around this child, and it was like a Nazi human being that was like dictating my every move, and I had no alone time, and he was attached to me 24/7, and I just was like going crazy. Obviously the sleep deprivation, we've all been there. We've all experienced it. It made me literally a crazy person. So for those of you who are going through sleep deprivation, keep in mind it is a torture mechanism. So it is used to cause people to have hallucinations, cause them to get depressed and have anxiety and insomnia and things like that. So it is definitely a torture mechanism. So if you don't get your sleep, you will be a crazy person. And it is one of the biggest causes of depression and anxiety is sleep deprivation. So keep that in mind. You got to get your sleep. So basically from there, I hated my husband. I wanted to kill him because of everything that moms go through. You're not helping enough. You're not doing what I'm asking for. You go to work, you eat with two hands. I'm stuck here all day. And, they think that you're not doing anything all day, that you're on this like wonderful journey of like being with the baby and at home. And I was miserable. And I lost a lot of my single friends. Nobody really reached out to me. I had no mom friends. I was alone, all alone. And it became crazy. I was in between jobs. I didn't have the career I wanted. I was trying to go back to school to get my master's, and I couldn't now. And so a lot of what I worried about was the future. Am I ever going to work again? Am I ever going to do what I want to do? Am I going to be able to pursue my hopes and dreams? And then a lot of it was I miss my old life. Like I miss the freedom I had. I miss going out when I want, eating when I want, shitting when I want, taking a shower when I want. Like I missed everything. And it was like a huge part of me left me. And I was stuck between the future and the past, and I could not see anything good about being a mom. I spent nights saying, why did I do this? Why did I have a kid? I had such perfect life, and now my life fucking sucks. And, so I was really beginning to lose it. And so like about every 3 days, I would have a humongous meltdown and just like start going crazy, screaming at my kid. Going to shake him, like just really aggressive nature. There were times I had these intrusive thoughts of, jumping out of the window or like driving a car and like, hitting the guardrail with me and the baby in it. There were just so much going on. I mean, I could tell you my story for hours, but I'm not going to. And I just felt worthless. I felt like a bad mom for having these feelings. I felt hopeless, like my life would never get better. I just felt like I couldn't provide for my son, that my son would be better off without me, that he would be better off if I just left, if I just disappeared, like he would survive better with somebody else. Somebody else could better take care of him. And, it took me months to figure out that what I was going through was really postpartum depression and anxiety. I really thought that I had, just the baby blues, or just my hormones were all out of whack. It wasn't until I actually smacked my son's behind for crying, probably when he was 7 months, that it really just struck me that something was really, really wrong. Like, I am not an aggressive person. Like, I'm a really happy-go-lucky person on the regular. Like, I've never been suicidal. Like, I never had these crazy thoughts. And this just really struck me as something that was not okay. And this is the mom that I didn't want to be. And I just broke down the floor and started crying and told my husband that something was really, really wrong. So that's where I started my journey to recovery. So what I did was I was afraid to reach out for help, needless to say, because I was a crazy person. And I truly thought that somebody was going to take my kid away from me, and that I was going to be put in a crazy home. And so I didn't tell anybody that this was what I had. I just figured that I could do this on my own. So what I knew in the past was that I was a really big law of attraction type person. Like, I was big on mindset and gratitude journaling and things like that. And I really knew that your thoughts create your world. So I said, if I can go back to that knowingness, then I can begin to track what I'm missing right now. Why am I stuck in this negative mindset? So if I could go back to what I knew of how to manifest things, and I played with the universe and I knew that this stuff worked, I would go back. That would be the first step that I took. So the first thing that I did was that I picked up this book, The Magic. I know it's backwards, but this was the real first step that I took to just starting to bring my thoughts back to reality, bring myself back to that happy place, start finding that gratitude for the life that I have, versus me mourning the life that I lost, right? Or worrying about the life that might be screwed up in the future. So I started doing that. The second thing that I started doing was I started meditating. So there's Headspace app, or the Expectful app. I know you guys do a lot of this with your mom group, so that's great. Meditation is a huge way to calm your thoughts, learn how to control them, learn how to push them to the side. So 2 things I did: I started gratitude journaling every day for 28 days. I did meditation every day for 30 days. So it was almost kind of like a monthly process for me, obviously, because you don't have a lot of time. So that was the second thing I started to do, which, each thing starts helping you feel a little bit better. I did a ton of research. I called experts. I didn't tell them that I was the person that needed help. I just talked to a couple of psychologists, couple of social workers. I talked to a couple naturopaths and other doctors, but I just said in general, I'm working on this business, I'm working on this book, and I'm doing some research, but I never asked about myself. So a couple things that I found out was that a lot of women suffer from postpartum depression and anxiety because they're not receiving enough nutrients, right? Your levels of vitamins and minerals are really low. Your hormones are all out of balance. And so a lot of that comes from that we lost a lot of nutrition from the baby, especially for breastfeeding. What I didn't realize was a lot of people either have a huge appetite or no appetite. I had no appetite. I would go probably 12 hours without eating and be breastfeeding at the same time. And it would I could feel it. It was depleting me. So he was stealing all my nutrients, right? Because I wasn't eating or drinking. I'd go hours without food. So one of the things I found was that a lot of women are deficient in a lot of vitamins. So if you are not sure if you're deficient, the first thing you can do is go to your doctor immediately and just have them give you a blood test. You don't have to tell them why. You don't have to tell them about your thoughts if you're afraid to. Just ask for a blood test. Feeling kind of low. I think I might be, my friend said maybe vitamin B12 deficient or vitamin D deficient. Can you just check my blood and see what I'm deficient in? And you might find that you have a thyroid problem, or you might find that you're deficient in certain vitamins and minerals. So I did find out that I was deficient in some vitamins and minerals, and then I found different vitamins and supplements that you can use to help regulate your emotions and your hormones. So you guys can't see this, but this is like a giant box of vitamins. I'm like an old person with like a pill box. I'm starting to lose my voice, so excuse me. So I'm just gonna give you like a couple different things. So obviously the first one I got was like, vitamin B12. A lot of us are deficient in that. You need vitamin D for definite. That will really get you what you're missing, especially if we're inside during the winter months. You're not getting enough vitamin D. Magnesium is great. It's really to help you with energy function, sleeping and like staying awake, things like that. Obviously I take vitamin C. I can't remember what this one's for. All right, well, vitamin E, I can't remember what it's for. Fish oil, you need fish oil. Women who gave birth, you absolutely need fish oil. So if you're not taking your prenatal vitamins, take omega-3 supplement. You really need that. That will really help regulate you as much as humanly possible. It's amazing how deficient we are just as women. Let me just see what else I got in this thing here that's of substance for you guys. Okay, so turmeric. So one thing that I found out is that inflammation is in your body is a huge indicator for people of postpartum depression and anxiety. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly why that is, but they did find that there was a high correlation for inflammation in the body, which can be caused by just increased amount of stress. It could be caused by, like if you hurt yourself or anything like that, but it's really a lot of the stress hormone being released, which is sending like all of your cells out into the body, which they don't need to be out there. They need to be here to keep your body from getting the inflammation. So they think there's a problem, so they go out there and they inflame your body, which causes different chemical imbalances in your brain. So turmeric is a great way. I know this is all backwards for you, but turmeric is a great way to help with that inflammation. You should still take this every day, like from now till whenever. And one of the women on here just mentioned something about I can't even say this word, ashwagandha root. This is great. And on here it says, stress response enhances energy and mood, healthy cortisol levels. So it's basically all about just controlling your stress hormone. It's amazing. I can't even tell you how much is it. It's equivalent to Oriental Chinese medicine ginseng complex. So same thing with like immune function, stress response, really getting that mood up. So this is kind of really what I take on a daily basis. I know it sounds crazy, but it really increases my mood, and I still take them today because it's not bad for you. I take the milligrams that I need, and it really, really helps my mood. And I can tell when I don't take them that I feel depleted. If I don't take them for like 2 or 3 weeks, like I can feel my energy level goes down, my stress level come up a little bit. You don't have to take them forever. It's just my body I'm not receiving enough nutrients from that. You can also get all this stuff from like, the green vegetables, putting spices in your foods. You can cook with turmeric. I just didn't want to do all of that. It was too hard. So it was just easier for me to put them in a pill box and say, this is what I'm going to do. So the second thing, I learned about essential oils, this is like a fourth thing, essential oils. And I already knew a little bit about them, but then I took a class and then I started selling them, and I really got into essential oil usage and aromatherapy. And I really found that I can swear by them. They save my life. So 2 of them that I use that are awesome is lavender and ylang ylang. And I use Young Living essential oils. But if that's not what you're doing, that's okay. You can find any essential oils at this point. Anything will work right now. But lavender and ylang ylang. So the lavender helps you to calm down. right? So it through your nose, your olfactory center, it'll help release a chemical in your body to help you relax. And then the Lang Lang helps increase your mood. So it kind of brings that happy sense to it. So what I would do is I just roll it on my wrist, put it behind my ears throughout the day as I was feeling either really anxious or really depressed. So whatever I was feeling, you can use one or the other, but I chose to use both at the same time because they mix well together. And it really just helped me to get to the point where I could just calm the F down. So as time goes on, obviously I started feeling a little bit better here, a little bit better there. Each little thing helps. Another thing that I did was that, again, everything is backwards here. There's this guy, Dr. Wayne Dyer. He has an audiobook called Excuses Beyond, and there's another audiobook called The Power of Intention. So again, I work a lot with my clients about the power of your mindset, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And I didn't realize how powerful this was till I started listening to the audiobooks. This is something that you can find on YouTube, or you can buy the videos or the audiobook by yourself. But basically, I started listening to a lot of motivational people. I started to, surround myself with as much positivity as humanly possible, like podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows, Netflix specials, anything I could find that was a motivational aspect of it, right? To get me out of that hole, to show me that my thoughts do create my reality, that I am powerful, that I'm not a victim to my circumstances, that I can come out of this hole. So as much positivity as I could get around me was what I did. So I do recommend Dr. Wayne Dyer. Everything he's ever written or wrote about, he's awesome. But basically it's like telling yourself that you're making excuses for your circumstances right now. And I know that sounds really, at first I was like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean I'm making excuses and I am causing the circumstances around me? Well, because we have so many crazy thoughts and we haven't learned how to control them because no one fucking taught us it before we had a baby, we're actually creating more and more negative circumstances. So and it's not just the law of attraction. This is like actually scientifically proven how your subconscious works, is that, what you're putting inside your brain is actually telling you to notice more of those things, and more negative circumstances are going to show up, and you're going to feel more negative about yourself, and so on and so forth. So basically what he tells you is stop making excuses for staying where you are, start getting the help you need, start taking the steps that you need to do. You can have the life that you want. You can manifest anything in your life. You can attract anything in your life. And you can set goals and achieve them just by taking action and thinking about them. So anyway, that's a great way to get started with that. So thus, in between all this, I wrote a book, and I started to share some of my experiences with other moms. I started to feel a little bit happier. I started to go throughout my day a little bit more, but like everything wasn't still okay. So I still had some anxiety, and this I recommend really as soon as you can get it. It's a Bach remedy. It's called Rescue Remedy. You get it at Whole Foods or whatnot. And it says on it natural stress relief. So I'm not going to go into this because we don't have a lot of time left. But basically it's a tincture, a homeopathic remedy, and it helps release your stress hormone. So like you can calm down. So, and it really uplifts your mood. They also sell certain ones. So you can go on their website and you can take the quiz they have or read what they have. So like right now, the one I have is for restores energy when you are mentally weary, procrastination, and doubt your ability to face the task at hand. So they have all different ones. It could be that, you're suffering from grief, loss, if you had a traumatic birth, things like that. You can look it up on their website. Again, it's Bach Remedy. It's amazing. You take 2 or 3 drops, 4 drops, whatever, and you can like already feel, it's like almost instant like gratification for whatever issue you're dealing with. But I definitely need the Rescue Remedy. Plenty of doulas use it with their new moms that have postpartum depression and anxiety. It's a great way to just automatically start feeling a little bit better. So make long story short, not everything was working, right? And I was like going around in circles. I did acupuncture. That really helped. But I still was like not feeling really good. I still, even though I felt happy, like I still didn't feel like myself. And that's really what we want, right? We want to feel like we felt before, because clearly we don't feel that way now. And I still didn't feel like myself. And I was like, what the freak is going on? I'm not as depressed. I'm not as anxious, but I still don't feel like myself. I still don't feel like a good mom. I feel like I screwed up. Like I still feel like I'm going to screw up. I still don't feel like my son is, I'm the best mom that I can be. I still don't have that, like I had a vision of myself of what a mom should be like. And I still didn't get there. So obviously more and more research went into this, and I think we have about 10 minutes left. So let's talk quick about mindset, and then I'll tell you what you can do about it, and then that will be good. So our brain is run 95% of the time on our subconscious brain, and only 5% of our day is conscious, meaning like if you say you're going to not eat a piece of cake, you're being conscious about the decision not to eat a piece of cake because you want to lose weight. But when you're tired and you're stressed out and you're running from work and you're starving and you forgot to eat, your subconscious says, oh, it's cake, I'm just going to freaking eat it. So then you just screwed up your diet, right? So I'm just making a small analogy. Or when you're driving in the car and all of a sudden you were thinking about something and then you ended up at a destination, you're like, how the hell did I get there? That's your subconscious brain, and that works 95% of the day. So what I found out was that your subconscious has limiting beliefs, right? So you were programmed from the time that you were in your mother's womb to the time that you were about 6 or 7. And every single thing that people told you during this time frame determines your personality traits, how you view the world, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about other people. So if people told you you were worthless, or you weren't deserving of something, or that you'll never amount to anything, or that you're fat, or that you're ugly, these things go directly into your subconscious. And now this tape plays for the rest of your life on 95% of your life. So what I realized was that a lot of what was coming up, because I was tired, because I was stressed out, because of all this, was all these negative thoughts, all these negative subconscious programs that I was programmed as a child. Now, I had a decent childhood. I can't really complain, but I didn't really have a great relationship with my mom. And even to this day, I mean, now we have a better relationship, but she wasn't the best mom, and, she wasn't, my dad wasn't the best dad, but that doesn't mean they were bad dads. It just wasn't exactly, what you consider amazing, right? And plus I had a nanny for part of my life, and she wasn't that great either. So to make a long story short, without like bashing anyone, is that, I was told certain things growing up, that I wasn't smart enough, that I wasn't skinny enough, that I wasn't going to make it, that I was going to fail out, or, things like that. So this plays 95% of your time. So now, because I have all this extra-ness, it's coming up more and more. So what I want you to realize is that part of the reason I felt like I was going to be a bad mother was because I was worried history was going to repeat itself, that I was going to end up like my parents. And a lot of you might resonate with this in terms of like, yeah, maybe your mom and dad weren't the greatest, and maybe they didn't say nice things or do nice things to you, or, love you the way you should have been loved. And so a lot of that stemmed from my fear that I was going to have the same relationship with my son that my mom had with me, that my dad had with me, and that I was going to show up in life as the way they did. And that made me sick to my stomach. Now, this took me months to realize this. So I'm kind of jumping as close to quickly as humanly possible for you. A lot of this stems from all of us as children, and our childhood traumas, and what we went through over life, and not being able to trust ourselves, and people constantly telling us that we're wrong, or that we shouldn't believe this, or we shouldn't think this, or whatever. So realistically, I really want you to get in touch with those scary things right there, those limiting beliefs you have about yourself, that you're not worthy to be a mother, that you're not deserving to have this great life, that, you aren't a good person, or you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not smart enough to raise a child. Like, these were real thoughts that I had, and I couldn't understand where they came from, and now I do. So how do I get rid of it? Right? How do I get rid of this? How do I change it? So there's another great book called The Biology of Belief. It's written by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a freaking genius. And you can read all about it or watch his lectures. I have on my YouTube channel, you can find his lectures under my playlist. But basically, he tells you that you can absolutely rewire your brain, right? Get rid of these negative subconscious beliefs about ourselves, about the world, about how we perceive things. And there's also an amazing thing that I learned from him. It's called tapping. So for those of you at home that you don't know anything about tapping, it's called the Emotional Freedom Technique. There's a great book called The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner. And he has tons of videos. Also, you can look up Brad Yates on YouTube. I use him for everything. But basically, it's a technique like acupuncture. You're hitting on acupressure points, which is helping scientifically prove that it's actually helping you to accept the feelings that you have, accept the trauma that you went through, and almost rewrite that feeling. So I started tapping, and it fucking worked. It worked. This is the icing on the cake. This is my favorite thing when I teach my clients. It's fucking amazing. It really works. So I can't do all of this with you because we have a limited amount of time, but try the tapping. It really changed my world. So all of these other things is my journey. They work. I give them to all my clients. These are the first tools I give my clients as soon as they sign up with me. And then the tapping, and we go into, goal setting, learning about the law of attraction, learning about your subconscious mind, rewriting your subconscious brain. And we also do like practical applications, dealing with your husband, learning how to be assertive and asking for self-care, learning how to love yourself and get the self-care that you need, and learning how to listen to your wisdom and your inner truth, and really that motherhood instinct that you have that we've suppressed. So I really love teaching tapping, and I love getting this whole mindset around motherhood changed for you. So basically what we do in my programs is we do 90-day programs, because it takes 90 days to really create a habit and really rewire your brain. That's another person you gotta listen to, John Assaraf. He's awesome. He's a mindset expert. So he has this thing called the Brainathon, and he has this book called Inner Size. But it's basically rewiring your brain. And so it takes about 90 to 120 days. So my program's 90 days. And we go in depth in what's going on with your life. What specifically is the problems in your life? Why aren't you where you want to be? What type of mom do you want to be? What type of experience do you want to have in motherhood? Why are you beating yourself up? What mistakes do you think you made? Why are you feeling so bad about yourself? Who made you feel this bad? What experience in your life caused you to have this hate and this distrust for yourself? Because that's what's happening to us. That's what happened to me, is that I hated myself. I hated myself for feeling this way, hated it. And I want you to realize that you have the power to change how you feel right now. You are so powerful in everything that you do, and your brain really is so strong. And if you can learn to control your thoughts, to rewrite your story, to rewrite your thoughts, and use all these natural tools and more that I have for you, you can change your life. 100%. I can totally help you do this. It's happened to me. It's happened to my clients. I feel better than I've ever felt my entire life. I mean, I feel in control. I feel powerful. I feel like a great mom. I feel like a really good mom, actually. Like when my son does things, I'm like, yeah, I taught him this. I taught him how to meditate. I taught him how to do breathing exercises. I taught him how to tap. Like I did this. So like I feel really good about myself. I feel my husband is now super supportive of me. I am very assertive. I take my self-care time. I have a business now. Like I have enough time at home. I have enough time with my family. And I really just feel like amazing. There's no other way I can explain it to you. And I want you to know that this is totally possible for you. You have to get up off the couch. And I know that's extremely difficult. You have to get the help. Go to Nicole and Kim's groups. You have to talk to other moms. You have to learn how to meditate. You have to learn these things. You have to take the steps. If you just sit there and you don't get the help that you need, you will be forever stuck there. If you just take one step every day, if it's just the smallest step, if it just means you go to one support group, you get on one phone call, you call your mom, you call your friend, you tap, you buy some vitamins, one step, It took me years to do this, okay? But I'm trying to tell you that it can be done faster. If you have a plan, if you have tools, it can be done so much faster than it took me. But you got to take one step a day. So if you get anything out of this video, please, this is all about you and you making the decision that you don't want to live like this anymore. You don't want to feel like this anymore. Oh, I'm getting like emotional. You don't want to feel like this anymore. I know you don't. I know you want to feel like a good mom. I know you want to love your life. I know that you want to feel like yourself again, and it's 100% possible for you. You just have to take the steps. Okay, ladies, we're out of time. Thank you so much. Please comment if you like this video. Please share with your friends. Again, you can join my private Facebook groups. You're all part of, you're my friends now. And like me on Facebook and Instagram, the Unfamiliar Mom, my YouTube channel, Danielle Cotis. I'm here for you. DM me, private message me, whatever you need. I'm here. I have no problem answering the questions that you have. If you want to jump on a call with me and we can talk about what you're going through and how I can help you, I would love to hear from you. So thanks guys so much. I hope you have a great night.